In this lesson, we are going to discuss measures of position for group data. We have two forms of data. First is yung ungrouped data. Ito yung diniscuss natin last module. So, ibig sabihin, raw data sila. Meaning they have just been collected but not sorted into any groups or classes. So, kailangan pa silang i-arrange and i-sort out. Yung isa naman is what we call group data. These are the data that have been organized into groups from the raw data, so that the frequency distribution of those groups serves as a convenient means of summarizing or analyzing the data. So it means ito po na ayos na natin siya into class intervals. Meron na tayong tinatawag na frequency distribution wherein mas mabilis na nating i-analyze and i-summarize yung ating data. Mas maganda na po siyang tignan. So ito po yung i-discuss po natin, which is the group data. Let's start with quartiles for group data. In solving quartile for group data, meron tayong formula na gagamitin. So, ito po yung formula natin sa ating quartile for group data. So, una, meron tayong Q sub K dito. So, ibig sabihin, quartile yung hinahanap natin and yung K will represent kung anong quartile ang dapat isolve. Yung LB naman is what we call lower boundary of the QK class. It means kailangan natin kunin yung QK class tapos hanapin ang kanyang lower boundary. So, mamaya mas madidiscuss siya ng maayos. Plus, we have here yung Kn over 4 natin. Yung K kung anong quartile. Tapos, yung N means the total frequency. N divided by 4 kasi quartile lang sinusolve natin. We also have CFB. CF means cumulative frequency. B means before the QK class or before or below the QK class. So, mamaya mas ma-identify natin kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng cumulative frequency before the QK class. We also have FQ sub K. So, it means ito yung frequency of the QK class. And then, we also have the I, which is the class size of our class interval. So, discuss din natin mamaya kung paano sinusolve ang ating class interval. And, of course, yung K natin, sabi ko nga kanina, yung value ng K natin is 1, 2, or 3. So, depende kung anong isosolve natin sa quartiles natin. We also have deciles for group data. In deciles for group data, ito naman po ang kailangan natin gamiting formula. So, kung mapapansin nyo, ang pinagkaiba lang natin is yung denominator na 10. At of course, yung subscript natin na D sub K dito sa ating frequency. Kasi nga, ang sinusolve natin is decile na. So, yung mga terms dito is wala pa rin naman siyang pinagkaiba except lang na kailangan ang isosolve natin as the DK class. So, yung LB is lower boundary pa din, N is total frequency, CFB is cumulative frequency, FD sub K is frequency of the DK class, and of course, yung I natin is class size pa din, at yung K naman natin this time is starting from 1 until 9. Kasi nga decile na tayo, it means yung data natin is divided into 10 equal parts. So, yun po yung pinagkaiba niya kanina sa quartile. Next, we also have percentiles for group data. Meron din tayong gagamiting formula sa pag-solve ng percentile for group data. Ito naman po yung ating formula. So, ano yung pinagkaiba niya kanina dun sa naunang dalawang formula? Of course, yung denominator niya this time is 100 kasi 100 equal parts na tayo. And then, yung ating subscript is P sub K since percentile na po yung ating sinusolve. Pero yung mga terminologies dito are the same pa din. So, yung LB, yung N, CFB, FP sub K, I, at saka yung K natin. Pero this time, yung K natin is starting from 1 until 99. Kasi hanggang 99 score points ang pwede nating masolve sa percentile. Dahil 100 equal distribution ng ating percentile. Let's have our example number 1. We need to calculate the quartile 1 of the mathematics course of 50 students. So, ito po yung ating table or frequency distribution table sa ating data. We have here the scores sa unang column at frequency sa pangalawang column. So, anong ibig sabihin itong mga scores na to? It means, ito yung mga class intervals natin. Meron tayong 6 na class intervals. Yung nasa left side, ito yung mga lower limit. Tapos yung nasa right side natin, ito yung mga upper limits. So, ibig sabihin nito, 21 to 25 yung scores ng 6 na students. And of course, 12 ang nakakuha ng scores na 26 to 30, 9 naman ang nakakuha ng 31 to 35, and so on. So, ito po yung ibig sabihin ng ating table na ito. So, kailangan isolve natin yung quartile 1. So, yung first step natin to solve for the quartile 1, we need to determine the lower boundaries. So, balikan natin yung table natin kanina. Dito sa ating third columns, ito yung ating lower boundary. So, paano natin sinolve ang mga ito? Una, punta ka sa ating lower limit. Let's say 21. So, 21 minus 0.5, that is equal to 20.5. So, yan yung ating lower boundary sa class interval na 21 to 25. Sa class interval na 26 to 30, yung 26, bawasan mo naman siya ng 0.5 para maging 25.5. Sa 31 to 35, yung 31 na lower limit, bawasan ng 0.5 para maging 30.5. And so on. So, ganun lang po kabilis kumuha ng lower boundary. Nagbabawas lang tayo ng 0.5 sa ating mga lower limits. Next step is we need to determine the cumulative frequency or yung CF natin. So, balikan natin yung table. Ito sa pang fourth column, meron na tayong tinatawag na less than cumulative frequency. Meron tayong dalawang klase ng cumulative frequency. Meron tayong less than at saka greater than. When we say less than, nag-i-start tayo ng pag-sum simula sa lowest score. Pero pagka greater than cumulative frequency, nag-i-start tayo sa pag-add simula dun sa highest score. So, dahil less than cumulative frequency tayo, start tayo with 6. So, itong 6 na to is copied from the frequency. And then, paano nakuha yung 18? It means we have 6 plus 12. So, pinag-add lang natin tong magkasunod na frequency. So, 6 plus 12 is equal to 18. And then, paano nakuha yung 27? We have 18 plus 9. That is equal to 27. Next, 27 plus 11 is equal to 38. And 38 plus 8 is equal to 46. And then next, 46 plus 4 is equal to 50. So, it means yung 50 na yan, that will be our N, or yung total frequency, or yung total number of students na kailangan nating isolve. So, para ma-verify, dapat yung cumulative frequency natin ay tutugma dun sa given na value ng N. Next, third step, we need to calculate the Q sub 1 class. So, paano isosolve yun? Una, kailangan natin yung value ng N, which is the total frequency. And of course, yung value ng K natin, which is equal to 1, kasi Q sub 1 ang kailangan nating isolve. And using the formula for Q sub 1, which is equal to Kn over 4. So, substitute lang natin yung value ng K tsaka ng N, which is equal to 1 times 50 divided by 4. So, that is 50 divided by 4, which is equal to 12.5. So, ano ibig sabihin ng 12.5? Yung 12.5 means that we need to find the class interval wherein yung 12.5 na score is contained. So, ito po yung hahanapin natin dun sa table natin kung saan belong yung score na pang 12.5. Proceed tayo sa ating fourth step, which is to locate the class interval where the Q1 class is contained. So, balikan po natin yung table natin kanina. titignan natin siya dito sa ating cumulative frequency wherein yung Q1 class natin, ang na-solve natin is 12.5. So, hanapin natin siya dito. So, yung 6, hindi pa siya pwede dito. So, ibig sabihin yung kasunod which is 18. So, 18, so kahit na mas mataas siya sa 12.5, ibig sabihin kasi nito, ito yung 7 to 18 score of our data. So, it means pasok dito yung 12.5. It means yung 26 to 30 natin is our Q1 class interval. Tapos, yung 12 naman is yung FQ sub 1, yung 25.5 is our lower boundary, at saka yung cumulative frequency is yung 6. So, hindi 18 ang kukunin natin. Cumulative frequency below the Q1 class. Yun yung nasa formula natin. So, 6 ang kailangan natin kunin. So, kung mapapansin, dito sa linya na to, dito natin makukuha lahat ng data natin. Tapos, yung class size natin, since 26 to 30 tayo, so paano sinusolve ang class size? That is 30 minus 26, which is equal to 4, plus 1 is equal to 5. So, kung mapapansin, 5 lahat yung class size ng lahat ng class interval. Check natin dito. 50 minus 46 is 4, plus 1 is equal to 5. So, lahat sila 5 ang kanilang class size. Next, proceed tayo sa ating step 5, which is to solve for the quartile 1 using the formula of our quartile. So, we have here yung ating given, yung lower boundary natin na 25.5, yung FQ sub 1 natin which is 12, yung CFB natin which is 6, yung KN over 4 natin na na-solve na a while ago which is 12.5, and then yung class size natin which is equal to 5, galing yan sa 30 minus 26 is equal to 4 plus 1, that is 5. So, una, i-substitute na natin siya dito sa ating formula. We have here LB which is 25.5, yung KN over 4 which is 12.5, CFP is 6, FQ sub K is 12, and then I is equal to 5. So, first step, subtract muna tayo. 12.5 minus 6, that is equal to 6.5. And then, i-divide na natin siya sa 12. So, careful lang sa pag-divide. Dapat kukunin lang natin hanggang 2 decimal places. Kapag more than 2 decimal places, it means mag-round off na tayo. So, 6.5 divided by 12 is 0.54. Naka-round off na po ito. Then, multiply natin siya sa 5. That is equal to 2.71. Laging 2 decimal places ang kukunin. And then, add natin siya sa ating lower boundary, which is 25.5. At ang answer natin is 28.21. So, ang ibig sabihin nito, 25 students have a score less than or equal to 28.21. So, ito po yung ating quartile 1 score points. Simula sa 28.21 pababa hanggang 21, yan yung scores ng ating 25% of our students or 12.5 of the students. Next, proceed tayo sa example number 2. Using the same data, this time we're going to calculate the 6th decile or yung D sub 6 natin. So, the same data po yung gagamitin natin. Ang first step na natin is to calculate the D sub 6 class. Kasi nga, same lang naman yung data natin. It means na-solve na natin yung lower boundary at saka yung cumulative frequency. So, proceed tayo sa step number 6. Yung D6 class or yung D sub 6 class. So, una, yung N natin which is 50 at this time, yung K natin is 6 kasi nga D sub 6 tayo. So, using the formula for decile, we have Kn over 10 kasi decile nga divided into 10 equal parts. So, K is 6 times N which is 50 is equal to 300, then divided by 10, that is equal to 30. So, ano ibig sabihin ng 30? Yung 30 na to, we need to find the class interval wherein 30th score is contained. So, parang yung ginawa natin sa 12.5 kanina. So, balikan natin yung ating table. We need to locate now our class interval wherein yung D6 class is contained. So, ito po yung ating class interval. Tignan ulit natin sa ating less than cumulative frequency kung saan belong yung ating 30, yung pang 30 na score. So, kung mapapansin, we have here 27, pero hindi pa siya enough, hindi pa pasok dito yung 30, so it means yung kasunod niya, which is 38. It means kasi dito papasok yung 28 to 38 score. So, it means yung 36 to 40, ito yung ating D sub 6 class interval. It means it follows na yung 11, that will be our frequency, and yung lower boundary natin is 35.5, and of course, yung cumulative frequency below natin or yung CFB natin is 27, hindi 38. So, para ma-verify kung tama yung nasusolve nating value ng ating D sub 6 class, dapat pasok siya dito sa ating class interval. Hindi siya bababa ng 36 at hindi rin siya bababa ng 40. Or, pwede nating pagbasihan yung ating lower boundary. Dapat hindi siya bababa ng 35.5 at hindi rin tataas sa 40.5, which is yung ating upper boundary dito sa class interval na to. Since complete na yung ating data, let's solve now for D sub 6 using the formula or using the formula for decile. So, using the given, which is LB na 35.5, FD sub 6, which is 11, CFB, which is 27, yung KN over 10 natin, which is 30, tapos yung class size natin, which is 5. So, substitute na tayo dito sa ating formula. Yan, ito na po siya. Careful lang po sa pag-substitute. So, first step natin is subtract natin yung KN over 10 tsaka CFB. So, 30 minus 27 is equal to 3. And then, 3 divided by 11, that is 0.27. So, careful lang, hanggang 3 decimal places lang ang kukunin natin. Then, 0.27 multiplied by 5, that is equal to 1.35. And then, add lang natin sa ating lower boundary, which is 35.5. That is equal to 36.85. So, it means, ito na yung value ng ating D sub 6. Therefore, 60% of the students have a score less than or equal to 36.85. So, yan po yung ibig sabihin ng ating D sub 6 na 36.85. So, para ma-verify din natin kung tama nga yung sagot natin, pwede nating balikan yung ating class interval. So, dapat pasok siya sa ating class interval, yung value ng 36.85, which is pasok naman. So, tama yung answer natin. Next, proceed naman tayo sa example number 3. So, using the same data, let's try to solve naman about percentile. So, solve naman natin yung 90th percentile or yung P sub 90. Proceed na ulit tayo sa third step, which is to calculate the P sub 90 class. So, using the value of n, which is 50, and yung k natin na 90, kasi nga P sub 90 na yung kailangan natin i-solve. And then, using the formula, P sub 90 is equal to kn over 100. So, yung value ng k natin is 90, and n natin is 50. So, 90 times 50 is equal to 4,500, divided by 100 is equal to 45. So, it means yung pang 45 na score naman ang kailangan nating hanapin para ma-locate natin yung ating class interval na kailanganin natin. Now, let's locate the class interval where the P sub 90 class is contained. So, balikan natin yung table natin. Hanapin natin dito yung pang 45 na score. So, kung mapapansin, dito siya sa 46 pasok kasi ito yung 39 to 46 score. So, it means yung 41 to 45 ang ating class interval. Tapos, yung frequency natin, which is 8. Yung lower boundary natin, which is 40.5. At ang ating cumulative frequency below is 38. So, hindi po 46 ang kukunin yung nasa below niya or before the cumulative frequency of our class interval. Again, yung class size natin is 5 pa din yan. Next, now let's solve for P sub 90 using the formula for the percentile. So, using our given na lower boundary is 40.5, yung F sub P sub 90 natin is equal to 8, yung CF sub B natin which is 38, Kn over 100 which is 45, at yung I natin which is 5. So, substitute lang natin siya sa formula natin. And then, yung first step po natin is we need to subtract 45 and 38. So, 45 minus 38 is equal to 7. Then, 7 divided by 8 ay 0.875 yan. Pero, kailangan natin siyang i-round off into 2 decimal places. So, kinuha natin yung 0.88. Then, multiplied by 5, that is equal to 4.40. Hindi ko na nilagay yung 0 kasi same naman yung value niya. Add natin siya sa lower boundary which is 40.5. That is equal to 44.9. So, ibig sabihin ng 44.9, it means we have 90% of the students have a score less than or equal to 44.9. So, simula sa 44.9 pababa, 90% na students ang nagka-score. So, para ma-verify kung tama yung score mo, pwede mong i-check dun sa iyong class interval. Dapat pasok siya dun sa range natin.